So now that you know how to actually set up a shopping campaign properly, a standard shopping campaign properly, which is the division of ad groups and product groups, essentially I'm going to show you what the process of optimization kind of looks like. So this is just, sort of 3 days worth of data for a particular client that's selling jewelry. And you can see I've divided it into bracelets, necklaces, and earrings. Unfortunately, no sales so far, but relative to the price of the products, $102 is actually absolutely fine. So we'd be looking to get some conversions coming through over the next few days or weeks. But in terms of optimizing, it basically ends up looking a little bit like a search campaign. So if I click on bracelets, what I want to do is go into keywords here and then start filtering through the search terms. Now it's super important for me to basically scroll through these. I might rank it by clicks or even impressions and start to eliminate things that I don't necessarily want. So straight away what I'm noticing, just like the example I used over in the search side of things, where we had a lot of competitor terms coming through, that's happening here as well. So Kylis pearls, Kylis, this is not the brand that I'm working with, but I've noticed that a fair few sort of competitors, even Van Cleef, Pasquale, these are all competitors and they're all coming through. So I'd actually rather not even appear when someone types these things in. So what I'm going to do is begin filtering through the search terms here. And all of these are words that we've essentially paid for or appeared for in the impressions column. And I just want to start eliminating or sort of getting a feel for what we're actually paying for. Straight away, I can see that Kylie's is appearing a lot here, as Pasquale and Van Cleef. Now these are all competitors. So let's say I'm happy with that, or I might get rid of Linny's as well. These are all competitors. It's not part of the strategy I want to follow. I only want to get the generic traffic for this particular campaign because that's what I've decided. So you'll have to make your own decision as to what your strategy is, and it'll suit your business differently. But I'm going to add those as negatives. And then if I just put them in phrase match, exactly like I did over in my search tutorial in the earlier module, if I just put them as phrase match, essentially I'm going to eliminate any search containing any one of these competitors' terms. I can go ahead and click save there, and then I've simply added them as negative keywords. Now I might do the exact same thing over here with earrings, eliminating Pasquale, Kylie's, Linny's. In fact, what I might do this time is simply just add them to the entire campaign because they seem to be recurring. There seems to be a theme here where it's recurring throughout the entire or all of the ad groups. So I've added a few negative keywords for competitors' terms and a few other irrelevant terms that I don't really want that are appearing here. Now the other thing to do is to really make sure that we're getting super niche across bracelets, earrings, and necklaces. So what I want to do is make sure that in the bracelets ad group, we have no searches for earrings or necklaces appearing. So I can go ahead and manually add in some negative keywords in phrase match for earrings and necklaces. And I might also want to add some variations like this. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing in the earrings and necklaces ad groups. Now the next thing I want to do as far as optimization is look at audiences. So if I go to any of these ad groups and I click add audience segments, I can basically add in audience segments specific to each ad group. And what I would actually like to do is to just keep it on observation mode, because I want anyone typing in pearl necklaces to basically see these ads. But what I want to do is get a little bit more of an understanding as to who's more likely to purchase and who's not. So if I add in, I can add in many jewelry, necklaces, fine jewelry, wedding engagement rings, luxury shoppers, apparel and accessories. I might even now go in, add in some things based on our own data that I've already created, these audiences. And then it would also be interesting to know if we get any current college students, and all of these on observation mode. So if I add these in, it's going to change nothing about the actual targeting, but you'll notice that straight away I'll be able to get all this information on these actual people because I'm going to start to see clicks, impressions, and everything else. So if any of these show, a really sort of level of good performance, I can go in and add a bid adjustment and say, if luxury shoppers are typing in what we're offering, then let's increase our bid by 40% above the maximum CPC that I've set at the campaign level. So step 1 is to analyze search terms. Step 2 is add in negative keywords to make sure that they're super granular. And step 3 would be, adding in audiences and beginning to understand audiences on observation mode, add in some potential bid adjustments. And that's how you're going to go about the process of continually optimizing.